Alright, well, let's see what's going on the old Facebook today. It's too early for this. Alright, you have one new message. Check out this link. Hasbro just reveals New York Comic Con Monster Bot figure. Okay. Hasbro Toy Shop available now. Okay. Still available. And PayPal. Oh shit. I got it. I got it. Yes! I got one! My package from Hasbro Toy Shop just arrived. My New York Comic Con Grotesque, Scorponok, and Fengul figures. I cannot wait to open this. I have never gotten an exclusive before. I'm so excited. Let's check it out. It is glorious. What's up, guys? I cannot tell you how happy I am to have snagged one of these New York Comic Con exclusive Grotesque figures with Scorponok and Fingal. Normally, I never luck out and grab one of these. When I see it's online, it's already sold, and I just give up. I say, oh, it's not meant to be. Such is life. But really lucked out with this. Had a buddy of mine actually message me, say, hey, check this out. He sent me the link. I hopped on Hasbro Toy Shop. It was still available. Put it in my cart. Paid for it, expecting at any moment, as soon as I hit that pay button, it would disappear. But nope. Transaction approved. It went through. And today, it's in my hands. So let's take a look at this New York Comic Con exclusive. Open it up. It's a neat trifold box. Kind of difficult to manipulate. We got Scorponok here, Grotesque and Fingal here, some pretty cool art, and the good old trading cards that everybody loves so much. Really neat packaging. Unfortunately, mine came beat to shit. It's all torn up through here, dinged up on the side, but there was no real way I could display this. This takes up a lot of room, so it doesn't really matter to me. I will be taking these figures out and putting them on display. Really interested in the Scorponok. Scorponok's one of my favorite characters. Not really digging the fact he's just a Titan Master. I like my Scorponok being yay big. But anyway, let's crack this sucker open, see what we got. Okay, the first figure we're going to go over in this wave is the Scorponok figure, who is actually a pretty good reimagining of Lord Zarek, who was the Generation 1 Scorponok's headmaster partner. The collars are almost identical to the G1, opposed to the Titan Master being a lighter shade of yellow. Now he also, if I can keep my camera focused, pretty good paint apps. He has a face very reminiscent of Bombshell, the knight-looking helmet that he's wearing. Now he's also die cast. His legs are die cast, I believe, his chest, and his faceplate. And speaking of faceplate, let's go ahead and transform him to head mode. Just simply fold him in half. I love this sculpt. This is so Generation 1 Scorponok as far as the comics or cartoon was concerned. That's one thing you can say about the Titans Return line. They knock the head molds out of the park. Now let's compare him to G1. Transforms the same way. Fold him over. It's amazing what a difference 30 years can make. It's too bad that this figure here will not fit into the Generation 1 Scorponok. I'd trade it out in a heartbeat. This next figure is Fengul, Fengul, which I believe is a play on the word engulf, as engulfed in flames, with the creatures being fire breathers. He is very well painted and very well sculpted, with a head that looks like a saber-toothed tiger. And I believe, from what I've read, he's an homage to the Battle Beasts series from the 80s that Hasbro also made. Now, in order to turn him into the head of Grotesque, just like Scorponok, simply fold him in half. And there you go. A very well done head sculpt, as usual, that looks just like the G1 head. Now, the main character of this set is Grotesque himself, as you can see here in his winged tiger monster mode. Collar is very reminiscent of his G1 self, with actually a very good head sculpt, much better than what was shown online with his mistransformation. I thought he had a very jacked up head at first. He's a heavy retool, remold of the Twinferno figure. Pretty much the entire bottom half is Twinferno, where the top has been remolded. He's got arm articulation up and down, elbows, claws. His feet, legs can go up and down, his feet can move, and wings flap. Now, some people have complained about the tails not being able to stay together. I've had absolutely no problem with mine. Now let's bring in G1 Grotesque for a quick comparison. Now, as you can see, there's quite a bit of difference between the sizes of G1 and Titan's Return. Of course, the collars are fairly reminiscent, almost match up perfectly. Along with, I didn't point out before, the details, where Titan's Return has painted and tampographed emblems compared to the G1 stickers. And of course, mine looks so nice because of repro labels. Now, the big gimmick the G1 had was it was a fire breather that shot cold sparks. So you push the button on top of the head and sparks shot out. Got a little bit of sparking action going on. I mean, that's about the best I'm going to get out of a 30-year-old toy, but you understand what I'm going for there. So now, let's get Grotesque into robot mode. Now, to transform Grotesque into robot mode, the first thing you want to do is take the jaw, bring it down and into the chest. Remove the gun from the back, take the tiger head and fold down on this double hinge and folds in nicely to the back. You can bring the wings up out of the way. The arms, or the paws rather, simply spin around, flip the claw back, and open up the fist. It's on a nice double elbow, so you have monster arm, flip right around into an elbow for robot mode. Do the same with the other side. Claw up, hand out, rotate around. Now for the legs, take the monster leg, fold up into the thigh on each side, split the tail, bring down the hip sections, and then fold the legs down at the knee. Once bringing the hip sections around to form the feet, rotate around. You can actually take the monster feet and fold back so they don't show as well when you're front facing in robot mode. So bring the arms down, make sure the tail's along the leg, and there you go. Now, of course, he needs his head. This is where Fengul comes into play, and just snap the head into the Titan Master port. And there we go. Now, of course, his weapon, he can actually wield this as a double-barreled gun just like his G1 counterpart, or you can split the gun apart and have it where he is dual wielding, ready for action. Also, other storage options is on the monster head. You have these little slots which match up to the slots on the guns, these pink ones here, and you can peg them in place on the side of the monster head like so. Well, maybe it's a little tight. I haven't done this yet. I just discovered this as I was doing the other video segment. Okay, get those in. So now he can wield his guns on his back. Also, yet another option, the pegs to the weapons fit in to the wings. So you could do that if you wanted to. Of course, I don't like that at all. So we'll get him back into the way I plan on displaying him. With the guns hooked together. And there we go. And once again, let's compare him to his G1 figure, who I've conveniently already turned into robot mode. Once again, they look very good and very reminiscent of each other. A great homage to a lesser known character. Now, I am so thankful that I was able to grab this character. He sold out, I think, within the first couple of hours he was online. Very limited distribution, and I hope that Hasbro does more pre-orders and lets other fans get a chance to get this great character. I mean, he's really neat, and I'm glad I have him in my collection. It's nice to have an exclusive for a change. The other character in this set I really liked is the die-cast Scorponok. I mean, back in the day, most of the figures we had, especially in the early 80s, were die-cast. Of course, my complaint, to me, that's not Scorponok. Scorponok G1 is this guy. He's a monster of a figure. Oops. I dropped his shield. But the original Scorponok, he turned into this giant robot, a giant scorpion, and a whole base. So maybe we'll get a reimagining or remold of him as well. Once again, I want to thank you for stopping by, checking out my page, and checking out my review of the New York Comic Con Transformers Titan Returns Grotesque, Fengul, and Scorponok figures. This is Patriot Prime, signing out. Be good to each other.